Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Rat by James Herbert. This was originally published in 1974 and this is the 40th anniversary edition. And frankly I'm really happy that I've got this particular edition because I think the cover is beautiful, especially as the cover is being eaten as such by rats and it's all slightly sort of cut away there, which I think is a really nice little touch. Anyway, I'll talk about the book now. James Herbert was, for a long time, years ago, the best-selling British horror writer of his generation. And he held this for, I think, more than 20 years. I don't think that is true anymore because obviously there are lots more new authors now that do sell extremely well. But he's still a very significant figure within horror, especially British horror, of which this is a very good example, because this was the first book that James Herbert ever got published. Now, as to the premise of the book, that is relatively simple. In London, England, a new strain of rat, or new breed of rat I should say, appears one day, and this breed of rat is much larger, far more intelligent, and way more vicious than any other strain of rat that's ever been seen in London before. Now, London is known for, of course, the underground and obviously the Victorian sewage system, and indeed it is well known that there is a lot of rats underground in London. Now, this plays on that, of course, because these rats are just another variation on rats, but they're much more than just a new kind of rat, because the presence and the level of, well, almost evil that they managed to portray from the very first page to the last is frankly fantastic, and I just loved the book for this reason, if not another, and there are many other reasons. When these rats appear at the very start of the book, within the first 3 pages I believe it is, they start killing people. Now, rats do kill people in real life. However, normally they would only actually actively attack people if they were absolutely cornered and they had absolutely no other choice. Obviously, they would prefer to avoid attacking people because, of course, we are much larger than that. Therefore, of course, we can kill them. These rats are different. They are actively aggressive in a really terrifying way, and they just start killing people constantly throughout the book. And the book focuses on a small group of characters who get caught up in the middle of obviously this series of rat attacks. Of course, because they're all over London, it starts spreading and the whole of London is affected, and it feels like a national crisis practically. And this series of characters initially are just trying to survive, and then of course they start trying to figure out where the rats are coming from and why they're attacking, and ultimately, of course, they want to eliminate the rats because, of course, who wants super large, super violent rats running around? Oh, and their bite is extremely lethal as well. Basically, if they bite you, regardless of where they bite you, you will be dead within 24 hours. So this is overall a terrible combination of effects and, frankly, a terrible situation for the residents of London to be living under. And this is a very dark and brutal book. From the page 1 till the last page, it is dark and brutal and unforgiving. There is no let up in the rats. The presence of the rats, because there are rats there all the time. There's somewhere about where no matter where the characters are, that there's probably a rat, one of the bigger intelligent ones, somewhere nearby. And this level of sort of weird evil that they portray is frankly fantastic to see, because you think, oh yes, they're just rats, and yes they are, but they're not just rats. So the shadow that they cast over indeed all the people, indeed the city, is frankly fantastic, because everybody knows they're there but not where, of course. So everybody's extremely paranoid throughout the course of the book, because you don't want to be bitten by one of these things because you'll be dead within a day. So everybody's really, really scared. Nobody actually believe it's happening until they actually see these rats themselves, because it's happening randomly all over the place. Sometimes it might happen to an isolated person here and there. Sometimes it might happen to an entire group of people, like 20, 30, 50 plus people in one go. So you can't tell by numbers or indeed the setting, because the rats will attack regardless of where you are. And this gives also a sense of unpredictability about the rats. You can't just think, it's like, the lone person that wanders into the woods sort of thing, will be attacked by rats or something. Or like the sewer worker that will have to go and do something and he'll be the next victim. It's not anybody at any point, regardless of where they are. You could be in the middle of, doing some grocery shopping in a local shop, and you could have a rat suddenly appear near the door, and then they could attack you and start ripping you apart and you'll be dead. So there's no let up in this book at all, not once. And frankly, I loved this fact because it's only a short book. It's less than 200 pages, but the sheer force the book manages to portray and the pace of it is fantastic. I loved it, if for no other reason, because it's just relentless. It really is. I've never known a book, well, at least very few, that are so relentless and so focused on what they are trying to achieve. This pacing throughout the book also is there, even when the book does indeed have a few slower moments. There's always a sense of urgency that the characters will need to suddenly start moving very quickly to deal with the rats. So the calm segments are not that calm, because you know that, and so do the characters, that they are going to have to move quickly and decisively at some point soon, otherwise they're going to be killed. So this creates a sense of urgency and paranoia, which adds to the overall pace and indeed the evilness of the rats, to create what I think is a simply fantastic book. I really enjoyed this book, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants something a little bit different, a little bit of a classic horror as well. However, if you don't like rats, then others, or any other animals like rats, then yeah, this is obviously not going to be a good book for you, because this is just going to make your fear of rats, if you have one, much worse, because they're not nice rats. I mean, really, really not nice at all. I'd also recommend this if you just want to read a book that is influential for many other books and indeed media like television today, because I've already had several thoughts of where other programs and other books have took certain aspects of it from, and indeed it is indeed, I think, this book, with quite a number of them actually. So for that reason, I'd also recommend this book. And with that said, that's pretty much it for this review. A fantastic book, which I would recommend to pretty much everybody, ultimately. Anyway, if you've read this, or indeed you've read anything else by James Herbert that you think I might like and you think that I should get to next, then please leave a comment and we can have a conversation. As always, all my social media links can be found in the description box as well, as they always are. And with that said, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.